But talk about your safeties group, what you got coming in. You got a bunch of new guys coming in, Landon Zanders being one, and a couple more like Joseph Charleston. Speak on those guys, and also speak on Tanner Muse and what he's got to do this year to show leadership.
Yep, let's start with Tanner and Kayvon and Denzel. Those guys coming back, and as well as Nolan Turner. You know, those guys are going to provide a lot of leadership. Got a lot of experience between those four guys, so I'm really looking forward to what they bring. And they're just going to have to take on a different role from last year and really step their leadership ability up, which they've done this spring and this summer. And then this spring we had Joseph Charleston and Landon Zanders and Ray Thornton came in. Now Ray had a labrum tear, so he had that fixed, so he was not able to participate in spring until the very end. But Joseph and Landon did a really good job. They did a really good job with spring training, picking up on the defense, and then coming in and some player-led meetings this summer. So really excited about those guys. And Jalen Phillips, he got here at the end of June, and he's been here now for a few weeks. So excited about him. He's eager to get going. He's been calling me, all spring and summer, wanting to know what he can do to, learn the defense and get going. So excited about all those guys.
Well, we know Tanner and Kayvon have been out there and got a lot of experience. Denzel's gotten the spot of working. Talk about Denzel and where he's come from since he's got Clemson and where he's at now.
So Denzel has tremendous athletic ability, tremendous change of direction, quickness. He's a great tackler, very physical player. I think for him, just learning the defense and the different coverages, the different pressures and different things is where he's really grown and shown a lot of improvement. He's definitely got the talent and ability to do it, and I think now that he's got that experience behind him, really looking for good things for him. But he's really grown, works extremely hard.
Kayvon Wallace, guy seems to have a lot of experience now, comes in, plays with a lot of swag. It seems like he's really found a role out there in that safety spot in your defense.
Kayvon takes a lot of pride in being a leader. He takes a lot of pride in doing well, and takes a lot of pride in his work. He's a guy that he's a very, very smart, very sharp player, very athletic, very talented. He can play any position, pretty much on the defense. I mean, when he first got here, he was starting at nickelback, then he was starting at corner, then we moved him over there to play safety, and he started at that. So, I mean, very unselfish player. He's taking on whatever role you're giving him, he's taking it on, but really wants to be a leader for the team, and has really worked for that. But extremely pleased with his progress, and we're going to count on his leadership this fall.
Is there any discernible difference in your defense when you say, where you're like free, strong, boundary, weak safety, or do you just kind of treat them as interchangeable?
Well, we'd like for them to be interchangeable, but there is a difference. And right now, Nolan and Denzel they've been able to really work both sides. Kind of left with Tanner and Kayvon, we've kind of left them in those spots. Now Kayvon has had to learn the nickel as well, but the safeties are different. You got a boundary safety, you got a field safety, so some of the run fits and some of the coverages are a little bit different, but the same. But there is a difference. But I think if you get them in here early and you can teach them both, so my goal is to have these young guys and really teach them both safeties and make them interchangeable so they can do both. And that's what was able to get Nolan on the field so early, because he was able to learn both spots. With Kayvon, he was learning nickel, safety, and corner, so I didn't want him to have to learn the boundary safety as much. And then with Tanner, you're kind of using a bigger body over there where he's playing at the free safety because of all the tackling and all the hitting and run fits that goes on over there into the boundary. So we like his body type into the boundary.
Normally when y'all play Georgia Tech, you were playing against a running offense, and that's not the case anymore. How will you adjust your safeties for that first game?
Well, we got to find out, what Georgia Tech's going to do, which we've watched a lot of film this offseason to prepare for that. But they're probably going to be more of a spread team, so we're going to have to get ready to play more coverage and that sort of thing, as opposed to when you get into an option team, you kind of have an option package, and this is what you do. So we won't spend all that time working Georgia Tech stuff. These guys will be more working against the spread.
Going back to Nolan, I guess a couple years ago, the Louisville game, he stepped out and made a tackle out in space against Lamar Jackson, kind of put himself on the map with the Clemson fan base. But he's also got, it just seems to fit into spaces and have an instinct to football. And like you said, he's versatile, able to reach out and be in pass coverage. Talk about Nolan just a little bit more where he came from.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, that's a good question, because when Nolan came in, I think his Clemson was the only big offer that he had. And I think it's overlooked what Nolan, his athletic ability is. He is a tremendous athlete. I mean, unbelievable athlete. You're talking about a 6'2", 195-pound kid that can run, change direction. I think his hips, his ability to be able to swivel his hips and change direction, his vision is unbelievable, and he has a great understanding of the defense. Would like to see him get a little bit bigger and improve on his tackling a little bit more. But from where he's come from, I think his confidence is just skyrocketed. With him being able to get out there and play, and then make plays. He makes a big interception against Notre Dame. That year you're talking about, he made a great open field tackle against arguably the best. Well, he was the Heisman Trophy winner. Made an open field tackle on him, as good a tackle as we had that whole game. So the ability to do it is there, and now the confidence is coming with it. So, I'm expecting big things from Nolan. But, he's got a great pedigree. I mean, his dad was a tremendous athlete and played several years in the NFL and was a tremendous athlete himself, and a lot of the same attributes, different positions. Dad was a fullback, but had great vision, great hands, and great ability to avoid people and that sort of thing. And, Nolan has that ability with his hips, change direction, and his vision are just really, really good.
Coach Sweeney has said that this group of safeties has the potential to be the best he's had in his tenure. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I hope so. That sounds good. I didn't know he said that, but they definitely have that opportunity. These guys talk about Tanner. This will be his third year to start. He's a fifth-year senior, so he's been in the defense now for 5 years, learning it, been very patient. He's very smart, and something he's done with our younger defenders like Nolan and Joseph and Landon, these guys coming in, and Kayvon the same way, is they've really taught these guys. They're teaching the guys behind them how to play the position as well. But the work these guys are putting in is unbelievable. The time that they put in is unbelievable, and it's nice to hear Coach Sweeney give these guys a compliment like that. And I think that a boost like that, some confidence, and somebody showing that in them will only make them better. So I'm anxious to see it.
And certainly probably the deepest group, I would think.
Yeah, we're a lot deeper than we were. Last year we rolled out against Alabama. We had 4 safeties on scholarship. We had a penny package where all 4 of them were on the field at the same time. Nolan Turner catches a cramp in the game, and we call that defense out there, had to call timeout because we couldn't get him on the field. So it's going to be nice to have. We'll have 8 guys on scholarship at safety. We'll have four true freshmen that's got to get ready, and then Elijah Turner and Carson Donnelly are two walk-on safeties that are really, really good. I mean, Elijah was a starter at Presbyterian before they took away scholarships at Presbyterian, so he came here and walked on, and he's done a great job. And Carson Donnelly his dad was on the '92 national championship team in Alabama as a safety, and was, I think, a freshman All-American at Vanderbilt. So I mean, he has a little pedigree too, and he's a great safety. So we're going to have at least 10 guys right there to choose from and get some work and compete. It's going to be a lot of competition this fall.
How much of a luxury is it to have those upperclassmen like Tanner and Kayvon to show the new guys like Jalen Phillips and the guys the ropes as they come in?
It's tremendous. So you just don't realize how different it is when you come from high school till you come to Clemson, and you got to learn a new defense and a new language. You know, a lot of coverages are probably something they've done before, but you call it something different. And then you have all these pressures and things. And when you got guys with experience, like the 4 guys we've been talking about, Tanner and Kayvon and Nolan and Denzel, now they can show these young guys, you know, when they come off